I think it's if anything needs to be done in the kitchen, even if it's not my dish, I help out because I just really want the dish to turn out. It's not even if it's not my dish, I want to make sure that it's all coming out, and because it's all of our dishes. It doesn't matter whose dish it was that they started, or it's everybody's dish. Everybody has everybody's dishes. If we're all not assigned to one item, if we know how to do all and we all hop on, we're all like communicating constantly, because sometimes I communicate too much with people, they just get annoyed. I want to make sure they know what I'm doing, and I ask them where they are, like how far they are along with their dish, and then I tell them how long I am, because I know how frustrating it is if you don't communicate and you think you're at a certain point and then you don't communicate it, and then you play it up at a different time, or something turns out the way that you didn't plan it to. So, but I just really want all the dishes to turn out the way that we all plan to from the beginning, because we planned it out at the beginning. We want it to turn out that way. Within the Asian cuisine, I like a lot of the Asian foods. I guess just the beef, like real thin shreds, because all the Asian cuisines mostly have thin shreds and thin, fine cuts. And I just I'm all about the texture. So I've always liked the smaller cuts, because I went into culinary because I didn't like eating certain foods because of the way that they were cut, or just the form that we're in. But Asian has a lot of smaller foods. You don't have to bite into a big chunk of anything. It's usually like a bunch of flavors and real tender, small pieces. I've learned the differences between certain cuisines, because we've had a lab on each cuisine and different regions, so I can tell the difference. I just did a paper on the difference between Chinese and Japanese food, because I really wanted to learn the difference, because most people, they make the mistake of saying they ate Japanese when they ate Chinese food, and because it's really similar, it seems similar if you don't know the difference, like the foundation of what's different between the two. And I didn't want to offend. I have a lot of Asian friends. I don't want to offend them by saying, because you can learn a lot about somebody's culture through the food too. I think Chinese culture is very interesting, and just learning about the food in general, you can learn a lot about the people. I think it's really great because as long as you're open-minded, you can take somebody's advice. If they know something about a dish, if it's their background, their heritage has that dish, you should listen to them and learn really what they know about the dish. Because when I was doing all my papers, I always call out my friends that I know, or I have an Israeli friend, I have an Egyptian friend. I'm always calling them up to see what they know about it, because there's always an Americanized version of that. Like Chinese food, a lot of times it's like Americanized Chinese food or Americanized Indian food, and it's not authentic. Yeah, because it's a lot spicier in other countries. Like we like it a little bit different, so they kind of cater to what we're used to in America. We have a lot of people, students and staff from different countries, or who have been to different countries, been to Spain and been all over there and know actual Spanish food. And also we have a chef from the Barbados, so that's another country that he knows like authentic food from that country. And I've just been more open to learning about other cultures. I've always been sort of interested in that the past couple of years, but I'm more interested in just talking to people, because everybody has an opinion on food, because we all eat it, so we all have an opinion on it. And if you know that somebody was from a certain region, they have a different opinion on it because they know what's authentic. I started culinary school a year and a half ago, and about that time, 2 weeks before I started school here, wasn't even thinking about this as a career, because back in high school it was always the home ec was for the lazy kids that wanted to get the easy A, so I didn't think of it as a career. But a friend of mine suggested, I was going for business, and I really wasn't having fun with that. I sort of tried to drop out a couple times. I just didn't really like it. It was just sit down, boring. I didn't want to sit down and work in an office. So he just suggested, you're always cooking new things, you're always trying new things. Maybe that's good for you. And I just thought about it for a couple of days, and I checked out the school, and I just was really thinking about it and seeing how it's it's an actual art. It's more than just food. You can actually make it look interesting, and I like the whole making something that looks fun and interesting and watch people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then they get to eat it also. So that's not just a picture, they actually get to enjoy it and eat it. And then tell people about how good it was, and then that makes me feel good. I never really liked mushrooms until I realized you can make them into soups and sauces, and I like the flavor a little bit better that way. Instead of just eating slices of mushrooms, I don't like that too much. On a pizza, it's a little bit different. So I decided that I'd put the mushrooms in there, and I never liked onions until culinary, because I realized if you caramelize them, they taste a lot better. They're sweeter. They have a different flavor profile. So I like to put that in there also. Well, the chicken had to be prepared and just seasoned so that it's ready to get in the oven and cook. Then I sauteed it off and then put it in the oven to finish off to make sure it cooked all the way through. And just cut the other vegetables so that they're just ready to throw together and finish up, because those wouldn't take too long. I think it's really inspiring to watch other people plate really interesting ways, like things I would have thought about doing, because then I could, next time I get the opportunity to cook that, then I could try that. So I can watch other people and learn from them and not just focus on what I have to do. I can also watch what they do, because I don't have necessarily a job. Like if I was working at a job, I don't have a specific thing I need to put out. I can watch other people put it out and kind of take my time and then maybe take suggestions from other people and kind of try new things. I've seen a lot of Asian cuisine also, and there's a lot of books that we have in our library that's inspired me that they make actually just like sculptures basically out of the food, and it's just really, some of the stuff is really simple, but you wouldn't think about cutting something a certain way and then stacking it, and it's also something that somebody else can enjoy and they can consume it. And because like I said, I like people enjoying, like being excited about like how I cut something or how I put something together, because they wouldn't have thought about doing that, or they just an exciting way to see food, and then they can actually eat that. So, but it's also a little bit of a business, because I'm thinking I can maybe become a personal chef, and it's something I can sort of perfect on my own time. Back at home, I can just you can't really do it with like accounting, which I was going to school for. You can't really practice accounting at home and then I'm better at work. Yeah. I can go practice food. Once I try something exciting, I can go out and I can be more confident about what I'm doing, because I have a lot of other things I like to do with my time other than just cooking. So it's more of a hobby. I can focus a lot of creativity in a small amount of time and then enjoy the rest of my time with other things. So it's not everything I do, it's just part of the things I do.